All right, so let's move on to the last series. So Clippers against the Suns, right? So as of right now, PPG will not be coming back this at least for the early stages of this round.
Mhm.
So who do you have in this series? And how many games, assuming PG does not come back for at least a few games in this matchup?
Um, I think I'm gonna go with Suns in five. The Suns are just too stacked,
Mm-hmm.
and with PG out, Kawhi hasn't played as well as he normally does this season. Though the Clippers, for whatever reason, are playing fairly well, with an exception of their most recent game where they almost lost to the Suns without their starters. But
Yep.
I think they're just having a rough game, but they eventually came back and won. I mean, the Clippers have a lot of experience. I think on paper, I think we talked about how much depth they have. They have so much depth. Like, they can have some of those players could probably start in other teams.
Yep.
Um, but which is the only reason why I might give them an edge for one game. They still have Kawhi Leonard
Yep.
and have a phenomenal game. He has proven that he can have big playoff games. So
Yep.
completely feasible to believe that the Clippers can still get one game, but the Suns have the best player in the series in KD, Booker, Aiton.
They have they have they have four of the five best players in the series
Yeah,
without PG.
I'm just thinking in my head, like, who else they have? Like, yeah, I don't think the Clippers really have anyone
Their
else.
their second best player right
Warriors
now is Norman Powell.
or Norman Powell, and yeah,
Yeah. And probably the third best player is either Terrence Mann or Zubac right now, depending on how you view it things.
yeah, that's true. But
Yeah.
I mean, who is that compared to someone like KD, Booker,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Aiden on the same team?
Yeah.
And CP3. Like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know how I forgot CP3, but yes, CP3 is also there. Like,
Yeah. So for me, if PG was healthy, I would
I still pick some within six.
I I if PG was healthy, man, like I would flirt with the Clippers in seven, if I'm being honest. But with PG not healthy, even if PG came back in game three or game four, I I agree with you that the Suns should win in five games. They it's the same issue that we've had, or me, you, everybody has had with the Clippers all season, right? So many injuries, so many different lineups. There's no consistency with the rotations. No one has played consistently well all season, excluding Paul George. Even Kawhi has ups and downs. Norman Powell has his up and downs. Terrence Mann is in the starting lineup now. He's not. Westbrook is in and now he's not. So for me, uh, man, I I don't see this going more than five games unless Westbrook just goes bonkers, right? Like if Westbrook can win them a game and Kawhi can win them a game, then maybe this goes six games. But for me, like Westbrook's last 2 weeks of his his productivity the last 2 weeks just uptick. It's just because they need him to be aggressive. They need him to like take shots, and they need the ball in his hands just because PG's not there,
Right.
right? But I feel like in a playoff series where Monty Williams, top five coach, they have and knowing the tendencies of Westbrook, I feel like Monty Williams will defend Westbrook very, very well. Come up with a game plan to guard him very well. So for me, while while Westbrook has played well the last couple of weeks, I can't see this going more than five games. I just can't, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't really think we need a X factor. I guess Clippers X factors for us, like how well he plays.
I actually think the X factor is going to be Norman Powell because even if Russ plays well, they're going to need guys to hit threes on the Clippers. So I feel like Norman Powell is probably their X factor, right? Like Westbrook can play. Westbrook can get you 25, 10, and 10, and then the Clippers can still lose because he's just chucking shots and turning the ball over. But if Powell is hitting a lot of threes, then that just shows you that the pace is really going fast. Kawhi is probably in flow. Westbrook is getting Powell the ball as well as other players too. So I feel like the X factor in this series would probably be Norman Powell.
I mean, that could be a good good pick as well for sure. But I think, I mean, yes, Westbrook recently has been playing well, but I mean, when has Westbrook really won anything in the playoffs outside of the one time he made the NBA Finals back in 2012
Mhm.
with KD and Harden and
Yep.
Ibaka? Like it's just it's hard. It's hard to really. I think ultimately, in order for the Clippers to like make it far, he has to play extraordinarily well. Like I mean, yes, having bench help is going to be important, but since he's essentially the second option now that PG is hurt, um, that's my X factor there. And then with the Suns, honestly, it's like anybody. One bench player playing well is good enough because they're just so stacked. I just don't really think the Suns are gonna lose this unless someone gets injured. And knock on wood, hopefully no
Yeah, like honestly,
one.
like
Hopefully no one does. There's no X factor here, in my opinion, for the Suns. Like,
yeah, I mean the Suns should win this like very clear. I mean, I'm trying to think of reasons to make the series more interesting, but it should end in five.
yeah, that's yeah, no arguments there.
All right. Um, Anything else on this matchup or any of the other matchups in the first round?
I think most of the matchups, in my opinion, are going to be pretty straightforward. No. Outside of the plan, we don't know what's going to happen between the seventh and eighth seeds for both conferences yet. So hard to tell. But I guess there's going to be one matchup on each conference that I think is definitely going to happen. But then there's still going to be one series in each conference that can be a 50-50 realistically, even though we picked winners.
Yeah.
Say
Like
50-50, but there's still a chance that the other team can win. Like the Knicks still could potentially beat the Cavs, and the Kings potentially still could beat the Warriors, but you never know. With
yeah,
those.
agreed there. All right, man. Well, if nothing else, then I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. I mean, we finally get the playoffs after a ridiculously weird
Season.
regular season with the offensive scoring for all teams across the board being significantly high. The West being extremely strange and the East being extremely top heavy. So it's been a weird season, but just glad that the playoffs are here. So yeah, looking forward to talking to you soon after we finish off the playing tournament and we can discuss the remaining matchups.
That sounds good, man.
All right, that's it for the two man podcast, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, y'all.